Hi, my name is Stephanie and I'm a massive fan and collector of all things music, film and pop culture. And today I wanted to look through my current collection of Criterion collection movies that I have. So pretty much, if you don't know what a Criterion collection is, I will read out the Wikipedia definition because that was my favorite definition that I found. So according to the internet, the Criterion Collection Incorporated is an American home video distribution company that focuses on licensing, restoring and distributing important classic and contemporary films. I love finding out about Criterion Collection releases, and I'm always so excited and intrigued to see the covers that they're gonna have and all of these supplements and like special features and essays and commentary tracks and all these cool things that come with a Criterion Collection release. And I mean, that's, you know, just a few of the many like cool things about it. But what is cool and like what is said in that like definition, a lot of the time sometimes movies become kind of hard to find, and Criterion do an amazing job of, you know, bringing life sometimes back into movies that people have forgotten about or have flown under the radar or they've just nearly disappeared. And so it's so important that there are companies that work on making sure that we don't lose these films, but also, like I say, like bringing new life and a new audience to a lot of these like either underground or lesser known films. First Criterion Collection movie I have here is the first that I ever bought, and that is Gus Van Sant's film My Own Private Idaho, starring River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves. This movie was originally released in 1991. This release within the Criterion Collection is number 277. Firstly, we'll say I'm a massive fan of both of these actors. I own a lot of their movies. I've seen majority of both of their movies, and when I first saw this one, it was so hard to find, and I think I won a bidding war on eBay for like a normal DVD release of this movie. But then when this movie became one of my favorites, I found this and I needed to have it. So there's My Own Private Idaho. This is also one of my favorite releases that I own so far, because when you open it, well, firstly there's the cover, and that's really pretty, and that has like a list of the the special features in the movie and some additional information and all of that. We have this, which opens up, and there's the disc, there's some images, there's some words that I can't currently read right now, but yeah, there's the film and then the special features. And within this release as well is a book, which I love. The cover is stunning and so is the back, but on the inside as well there's like pictures and essays, and here we go. This is one of my comfort movies. I've seen it so many times. I've seen it in the cinema, and there's just something about it, like despite how upsetting it can be, that brings me a lot of comfort. And I don't know why, but it's probably the performances, honestly, especially River Phoenix. What he does in this film is just fantastic. Yeah, that's my copy of My Own Private Idaho. The second film that I have that is from the Criterion Collection is David Lynch's film Mulholland Drive. Originally this movie came out in 2001, and this release within the Criterion Collection is number 779. This is another one of my favorite releases. I got it at the same time that I got My Own Private Idaho, and again, for those who don't know, this is another one of my favorite movies. There we have the front and the back, and here once you take the cover off, we have the cowboy again. If you know, you know. This book is gonna fall out. Here we have one of the discs and another one. Oh my gosh, even seeing these images just makes me want to watch the movie again for the 100th time. When I first saw this movie, it was like maybe the second or third David Lynch movie I'd seen. I was already into Twin Peaks and Blue Velvet, and then I bought and watched this and I was like, oh my gosh. And then eventually I ended up with the Criterion Collection copy of it. But earlier this year I saw this movie in the cinema for the first time, and seeing it in the cinema with the sound and the images and everything was just like so cool. In my opinion, this is one of the greatest movies of all time. I think that every time you watch it, there's just something new. I find it extremely haunting. I find the whole premise just so clever, and there's so many hidden things every time I watch it where I go, oh my gosh, like this is genius. And so yeah, just naturally when I first discovered Criterion and was getting my Own Private Idaho, I found this one and it had to be done. The next three that I bought together, and I will explain why. So pretty much the next three movies that I bought were all released in 2019, and all of them are Netflix movies. And at the time, for those who remember and for those who were experiencing how great cinema was in 2019, you'll know that like even the Oscars that year were like packed with like so many performances, and there were like so many amazing films and performances, and so many didn't even get nominations that I still think should have. But I know that like these performances and movies will age really well anyway, and so to me like 2019 is just like an amazing year of great films and performances and writing and all of the above. With that said, it didn't sit right with me that I didn't own a few of those like in a way that I could like hold it like I can right now. Like I loved these movies so much that I needed them within my collection, and so when Criterion released that, I just had to do it. So we'll start with Marriage Story, which is a Noah Baumbach film starring Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. I remember being really moved by the performances in it and the writing and everything about it. Like it's a very interesting movie, but like it's not one that you want to like revisit all the time. Like it can be dark and, you know, not the best time. It's not one that I would consider a comfort film or one that like I rewatch often. However, as a fan of films and a fan of really good films, I was like, I need to have this. So here's Marriage Story from 2019. It's also number 1038 within the Criterion collection. Here is the back. There are discs inside here. One's the movie and one is the special features. Another picture here. Booklet for this one is like a fold out paper, and it's like really pretty. There's lots of images and there's credits, and then there's like essays, and it's about making of the movie and all of that fun stuff like that. The next movie is Martin Scorsese's film The Irishman from 2019, and this movie is 1058 in the Criterion collection. This movie was like a need to have in physical form because number one, Scorsese, my pretty much like favorite director. It's starring two of my favorite actors, Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. It again didn't sit right with me that I couldn't add that to my collection, so I needed to have this, and I have only seen it once. This is a very long movie. I remember when it came out, everyone was talking about the runtime and all of that, but honestly, when you have like so many people who are masters at what they do, all doing their thing, I don't really complain about the runtime. I'll complain about runtime if I don't think it's earned, but the fact that this, you know, group of people are all together doing their thing, something that makes me very happy as someone who loves movies. So I enjoy The Irishman. I think it's a really cool situation to have happen. Here is the back of this release. Here are the discs. And again, with this release, it's like a fold out book. We've got some portraits. On this side, we've got Robert De Niro, Al Pacino and Joe Pesci over here. There's the credits over there. And here's a whole lot of words. The next one, and honestly my favorite of these three, is Uncut Gems, which is a film by the Safdie brothers, and it stars Adam Sandler, who's one of my favorite actors and comedians and entertainers of all time. And this is one of my favorite movies of all time. I loved this movie from the first time I watched it. I still get that same feeling whenever I watch it. I have seen it so many times, and every time I'm hoping for a different outcome. If you haven't seen it, skip ahead or go and watch it and come back. This movie is crazy in the best way, and I have like another Blu-ray copy of it. I've got the CD soundtrack. I just was like fixated on this movie when it came out. I think Adam Sandler's performance in this is fantastic. I think this movie as a whole is just done perfectly. Pretty much like has become a comfort movie to me. But yeah, every time I watch it, I'm like so impressed and so anxious, and I enjoy it every time, and I literally tell everyone to watch it. Here is the back, information. Oh yeah, it's number 1101 within the Criterion collection. Here are the discs. And here again, we have another fold out book situation. Here we've got some images, there's a cast list, there's some writing, the Furby. We have Adam Sandler as Howard Ratner and a whole lot of words again. The next movie in my collection is La Piscine, which is a French film from 1969. And this cast is packed. This movie is amazing. It is the perfect summer movie. It's just stunning. I originally was intrigued because Jane Birkin's in it and I love her. She's like an idol of mine and I got it based on that. But then I watched it and I was like, oh, this is so cool. This movie is number 1088 within Criterion collection. Here is the back. Here are the discs. Here's the book. This is like such a wonderful movie. The house in it is stunning. The outfits, just everything about it makes me love the idea of summer. It's also a mystery movie and it is a very, very cool movie at that as well, I will say. The next film is Girlfriends, which is a film by Claudia Weil, which I hope I said right. And this movie is from 1978. It is number 1055 in the Criterion collection. When I first saw the film Frances Ha, which is written by Greta Gerwig and directed by Noah Baumbach, it altered me as a person and I loved that movie and it's one of my favorites of all time. I think that it's such an important and amazing movie. And early on, after I'd watched it, I was like, I need more movies like this. And this movie would come up and I could never find it anywhere. And then one day I discovered that there was a Criterion release of it and I was like, well, I'm gonna get it. And I did. So for those people who love Frances Ha and want a movie that's like quite similar to it, or where you can see where inspiration may have been found within it, you should watch Girlfriends. This is another movie about like two friends on different paths and trying to navigate that. And this movie is stunning. It's so cool. It's about, you know, pursuing art and being an artist and being in New York and all of these like crazy life things that happen. And I love this movie and I'm probably due for a rewatch because I think that this movie is fantastic and needs to be seen by more people. Here is the back, the DVD. Here is a disc. And this one comes with a book. Here's a still from the movie and more stills, cast lists, lots of words. Yeah, this is a really special movie. I think that I should watch it as a double feature with Frances Ha because they would complement each other perfectly. The next one I have is Gimme Shelter from 1970, which is number 99 in the Criterion collection. This is a movie that I've been looking for so long and I have not watched it still. I am a massive fan of the Rolling Stones. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. I remember finding this. This is an early like Criterion release. I got it a couple years ago and yeah, I still need to watch it. Here's the front, here's the back, here's the disc, and this one has a book with lots of photos. It's so cool. Final film that I own that's in the Criterion collection for now is Martin Scorsese's film After Hours. This movie was released in 1985 and it is number 1185 in the Criterion collection. I've been wanting to watch this movie for so long and I was so happy when I loved it and I enjoyed it, and it was like crazy and fun and stressful, very much similar to like Uncut Gems, if you like a movie that's going to kind of stress you out but also take you on a crazy adventure. In my opinion, this is an underrated Scorsese movie just because if someone listed the first 5 Scorsese movies to think of off the top of their head, this will probably never be in there, or maybe even top 10. I don't want to make assumptions, but I do think that this one should be seen by more people because it is so good and it's kind of hidden. The other thing about it was that I couldn't find this movie anywhere, and so yeah, when I did find it, and the Criterion copy, which is so pretty, I just had to get it and then I watched it and I loved it. This is the back. Here are the discs.